We're live at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, site of the 2015 State Games of America opening ceremonies. And in about a half an hour, 15,000 athletes in 47 states will be joining us for a night of ceremony and celebration. Good evening, I'm Lucas Mormon.
And I'm Kate Ellingson. Welcome to the SGA Nightly Opening Ceremonies Countdown Show. The National Congress of State Games holds the State Games of America every 2 years. The event started in 1999 in St. Louis, and this year the Nebraska Sports Council is proud to be hosting the 9th playing of the games. And tonight's opening ceremony is the spotlight celebration of this year's games. 2012 Olympic wrestling gold medalist Jordan Burroughs is one of the athlete ambassadors for the 2015 State Games of America. He strongly believes in giving back to his home community. Because of that, he hosted a clinic for young Nebraska wrestlers. State Games reporter Aslan Armstrong joins us with the latest. Welcome, Aslan.
Thanks, Kate and Lucas. It was really an incredible opportunity to meet Jordan. He could tell he really loved giving back, and that he loved hanging out with the kids and meeting with them. Jordan Burroughs is one of the top wrestling athletes in the world. Since 2009, he's had 108 wins and only 2 losses. And he'll be the first to tell you that he got there only by determination and commitment to his goals. Now, he sees sharing his skills with young wrestlers as an awesome ability.
I was once a young man that wanted to be the best and that had high goals, but really didn't know how to get to the next level.
When Burroughs was the same age as some of these campers are now, the Olympics didn't seem possible. Only a one-time state champ, he had to work just to receive a wrestling scholarship at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Today, he sees the potential that every child has to make an impact in wrestling.
You know, I was once a young man at a camp and guys probably were like, oh, cool, you want to be Olympic gold medalist, no way you'll ever win. You know, but now there could be possibly the next Olympic gold medalist in, 20 years out there today.
Burroughs' goal is that every athlete, no matter where they're at in wrestling, can realize their potential for success.
And so I try to be as memorable as possible.
Never in my lifetime would I have thought I would have even been a dummy for Jordan Burroughs. It's just a crazy thought. It's a crazy thing to happen, really.
And so I always want to create a relationship with each young man and women. And so I've spent a lot of time going to camps and clinics throughout the world, throughout the country, teaching, showing my Olympic gold medal, giving them a tangible piece of evidence from the Olympic Games and my life and career and victories. And so I really want to do as much as possible to help promote the next Olympic gold medalist.
Burroughs inspires the people around him by focusing on hard work and determination.
For me, it's really important. I don't take these things lightly, and I think that I have a great opportunity. I've been blessed with tremendous gifts and a huge platform to help promote the next great resurgence of great wrestlers in this country.
So, Jordan will be at the opening ceremonies tonight, helping light the cauldron, and then later throughout the games, he's going to be stopping in to look at the wrestling just to see how the kids are doing.
What do you think the most important message was that Jordan gave the wrestlers last night?
I would say that hard work and determination really can get you a long ways. Just when he was their age, he wasn't an incredible wrestler like he is today. I think he wanted to show them that they can achieve the things they dream about as long as they work for it.
Great, thanks, Aslan.
Yeah, thank you both so much.
That was a great turnout last night, and it looked like the athletes had a great time. And fans are really packing in to see the athlete ambassadors and Grand Marshal.
And now we welcome the star of that clinic last night, Olympic gold medalist, former Husker Jordan Burroughs. Jordan, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
How was that clinic last night? It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. To have so many kids, young men and women, all vying for gold medals this weekend, it was very exciting, and I'm glad I could contribute.
What was the message that you shared with the kids?
Hard work, perseverance gets gold medals. And so I think they understood that they wanted to learn technique, but they wanted a tangible piece of success and for my Olympic gold medal. And so I kind of bestow the knowledge that I've learned as a wrestler in my career onto those young men and women, and hopefully they can take some of those things and help accelerate their careers.
Why are events like this good for the sport of wrestling specifically?
Well, anytime there's wrestling on the national stage, I think it's big. We don't gain a lot of notoriety as a sport, and so when we can be a part of big events like this and be widely recognized, I think it's really big for our sport.
So what will you be doing tonight for the ceremony?
Oh man, hopefully not messing up is the big thing. And so me and Lolo Jones are going to light the torch, and we're going to come down with torches and light the cauldron. So it's going to be an exciting night. I'm hoping that everything runs smoothly and that we can do it to the best of our abilities and get all the fans excited about the competition in the next couple days.
So I've peeped on your social media, and it looks like you have a darling son, Beacon.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about how you and your wife handle that with traveling. I know faith and family is the most important
It's
to you.
actually very tough. It's very tough to balance being a good husband, a good father, and the best wrestler in the world. So it's a delicate balance. It's always a juggling act, but I think my wife is committed to helping me be the best wrestler as well. So my son's great. Obviously, he's a young man, so he doesn't understand kind of the dynamics of being a high-class wrestler, but it's good. I want to exemplify hard work for him, and I want to help my wife share some of the experiences and successes that I've had in my career.
You said being the best wrestler, you get the World Championships coming up, 43 days. How are your preparations for that going?
They're good. They're good. World Championships are very exciting. You know, so September 12th, I get to compete. It's actually the same day as Floyd Mayweather's competition. And so it's going to be an interesting day. A lot of people in Vegas, we're on home soil, and I'm excited about the opportunity to win a fourth.
You bet.
So
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We're, good luck with the World Champions. Have a great time lighting the cauldron tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And be
Thanks
safe
a
down
lot.
Thank you
You're
guys for
just so
having me.
fascinating. I wanted to keep asking questions. Thanks a lot.
there.
Have
You
a
bet.
great
Thanks for
night.
coming out.
Looks like the crowd is filling in and the athletes will be arriving soon. So, what do you think is going on out there?
Well, we skirted a little bit of the rain, so we're all right there. Looks like clear skies for the rest of the night. Hopefully everything goes off without a hitch here.
Yeah. Okay, joining us now is our other athlete ambassador for the night, Olympian and world champion sprinter and hurdler, Lolo Jones. Lolo, thanks for joining us.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good. So how are you doing tonight, or what are you most excited about?
This is amazing. I'm excited just because I've actually had a chance to interact with some of the athletes competing, and it's just been thrilling. For me, I competed in the Iowa State Games growing up, and so kind of had a taste of this. And I keep telling people, like, before an Olympics, this was my Olympics. You know, you have people from all over the U.S. competing in every sport, all the different ages, and it's just like, that's as close you can get to the Olympic environment in the U.S. that you can.
And you talked about you competed at Iowa State Games, but this is of America. So how was that, seeing this many athletes, even step up from those state games, a great new follow with the state
It
games?
definitely brings an extra level of excitement and adrenaline, and that's what you need as a competitor, to have that increased pressure to go to the next level or have a breakthrough. So I think that they realize that, and they're out here to have fun, they're out here to compete, just meet other people from different areas. I mean, it's really cool to see.
So how do you think something like this can transpire to their future success?
Well, I just think that it's just a great representation of just like wanting to push yourself, and I think that there's really nothing like it, to have an opportunity to compete with other people from different states in all the sport. Like, that's insane. Like, this is really cool, and I really wish I would have had, like, I went to the Iowa State Games, but I never was on like the extra boost. And you think about it, like, to prepare yourself, it's just another level, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your career. You've been battling some injuries early in the year. What's up next for you? What's coming up?
I know, I had a whole bunch of injuries this year, but I'm actually in a few days heading to Costa Rica for the NACAC championships. That's a really tricky word to say. NACAC championships. So I will race there for Team USA, and then I'll have like a month where I shut it down and get ready, and then start it up for Rio training for next year. Wow. That's, Olympic year is a big year.
Yeah.
That's
Can
awesome.
you talk a little bit about tonight and the opening ceremonies, your involvement, your excitement level, and what are you expecting out of it?
I'm so thrilled. Like, I am lighting the torch. Like, there's a lot of pressure in that. So I'm like, 1, don't drop the torch. 2, don't catch on fire. So if I can do that, like, I'm doing good.
Yeah,
so
that's
Jordan's
huge.
on the other side, so we gotta like synchronize our like path. But like, I'm a runner, so like, how is he gonna keep up with me? I don't know. Like, I don't even.
Synchronized.
I feel bad for him,
Yeah.
like.
Synchronized
I'll slow
cauldron.
it down for him.
Cauldron
I'll
lighting.
really jog slow. I'm like, all right, Jordan, come on. I know you're the Olympic champ.
That's
but like,
awesome.
come on.
So talk a little bit about the transition between track and field and bobsledding. I mean, that's crazy and awesome.
Yeah, it's tough because you like really don't have a down season, but they really complement each other quite well. So track, I work up my speed, and then for bobsled, I work up my power. So like, they really help one another. And I've been talking with the girls, and I'll probably be going back there, after Rio. So I really love the balance of both.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for joining us tonight. Have fun down there lighting the cauldron. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the opening ceremonies, talk to the director of the National Council of the State Games when SGA Nightly returns.
Our country was built on a truth that remains self-evident even today. where the spirit of the First Amendment rings true, where freedom of speech and freedom of the press are among the foundations of our democracy. But with great freedom comes even greater responsibility. The mission at 1011 is simple. We want to be your trusted source for news, weather, and information, to be relentless with quality, in-depth investigative journalism. At 1011, we're listening and sharing your voice. We're creating new ways to keep you in touch, empowering you with exceptional news coverage. That's why at 1011, we can proudly say with every story we deliver, our name is our reputation. 1011 is here when you need us, anytime, anywhere, on your schedule. We are 1011.
Lots of planning and work goes into putting this event together, and athletes have been arriving by the hundreds.
Athletes, parents, and spectators arrived in Lincoln, flooding the Pinnacle Bank Arena to pick up their packets. State Games reporter Sheree Sawyer gives us a live view at the story. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. Athletes from all over the United States arrived Thursday night to pick up their participant packets. There are over 15,000 participants expected to arrive. Music, games, and excitement fill the Pinnacle Bank Arena as athletes and spectators come in to pick up their packets Thursday night. Athletes and their parents have traveled far and wide to participate in this year's National State Games hosted in Nebraska.
It was long. Long and boring. About an 8-hour drive.
After 2 long years of meticulous planning, the Nebraska Sports Council's vision of hosting a record-breaking year takes shape and comes alive.
It encompasses all of this, the packet pickup, the logistics of all these participants getting their packets, and of course the fun stuff that we're trying to plan for everybody at the Athletes Village.
The Pinnacle Bank Arena is the home of the Athletes Village, a place where participants can relax, enjoy free sports clinics, and obstacle courses. Nebraska Sports Council expects over 15,000 athletes to participate this year.
So what kind of things are happening at the arena?
Well, right now at the arena, there's a lot of merchandising going on, so you can buy shirts, trophies, you can take pictures, you can also customize your items that you've won as well,
cool.
if you want to keep that memory alive. Yeah, there's also local talent, local entertainment. There's a lot of bands that will be present and playing for the athletes. So, there's a lot of Nebraska nice.
Awesome. Thanks, Sheree.
Thanks for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
In addition to the events at the arena, we're looking live at what's going on at the stadium. Opening ceremonies are going to be underway soon, and fans are ready to pack their way into the stadium here at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln.
And joining us now to talk about the State Games of America is Eric Engelbartz, Director of the National Council of State Games. Eric, welcome to Lincoln. Tell us a little bit about the history of State Games.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm the Executive Director of the State Games of Michigan, and I serve on the board of the National Congress. But the National Congress is essentially a membership organization composed of about 30 different states from across the country that do exactly what they do here in Lincoln. They run a multi-sport Olympic-style event.
How does that National Council go about deciding on who's going to host the games, and how did they land on Nebraska for this year's games?
Yeah, sure. It's part of a bid process. So it starts with putting in your letter saying that you're interested in being here, that kind of thing, and then they do site visits where you take them around, you show them all the different venues, and then eventually there's a final presentation. And whoever comes up with the best bid and the best financial package as well, it becomes the home of that. But I think here in Nebraska, these guys do such a great job, and we've seen that all through this week, just being here and kind of poking our heads in the door and seeing what's going on, and they've just been doing a phenomenal job. So it was definitely the right choice, and we appreciate the hospitality here in Lincoln.
What are you most excited about for tonight?
Oh boy, I don't know. There's a bunch of them, but I think everything always peaks with the cauldron lighting, and then I think they have some tricks up their sleeve, so it's should be a good show.
Now the plans are already underway for the 2017 State Games of America. What can you tell us about that? A little bit of a preview.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm from Grand Rapids, so I can tell you all about it. We just won that bid process, and Grand Rapids is Michigan's second largest city, behind Detroit. A lot of people don't know that, and we have beautiful natural resources in the lakeshore, but a lot of things that we'll do differently from an operational standpoint, not a lot. These guys have been nailing it down here, but just a little bit of a difference would be our opening ceremonies will be inside in an arena, and that'll bring some different elements. We can control the environment, the atmosphere just a little bit more than being outside, and really bring your emotions up and down and explode with that cauldron. So, we've been here for a week and just checking out the scenes, and it's been going really well.
All right, hey, we're going to take a look at a preview of the 2017 State Games of America right now.
And we are just moments away from opening ceremonies, and as you can see, there's quite a big crowd out there.
Yeah, a lot of that crowd's going to roll in when all the athletes come in too, and even over at the Pinnacle Bank Arena as I came in, a lot of people over there hanging out in that athletes village, so fun to see.
They're going to wander over, I'm sure. Over the last few days, athletes from all over the country have been arriving in Lincoln and Omaha for the games. Most of the competition begins tomorrow, but some sports, including water skiing, shooting, volleyball, figure skating, and hockey have already started.
The State Games of America fishing tournament had a huge turnout this week. There were 48 teams fishing for gold in Lake Wanahoo. State Games reporter Taylor Kluzinski has been keeping tabs on the fishermen and joins us now.
Thanks, Kate and Lucas. The fishing competitors were up bright and early this week to cast their lines to catch the biggest fish.
Fishermen came out as early as 6 in the morning to spend the next 7 hours on Lake Wanahoo with one objective: to catch the biggest bass.
When they catch fish, they'll lay it out on their measure board and take a length on it, and they'll write that back on their scorecard. And at the end of the day, we tally up their 8 largest fish and their big fish.
With 96 competitors out fishing, they each had their own reason why they came out to compete in the games.
Good opportunity for getting my son out here, the two of us.
Just kind of support the state games. It's in Nebraska. They have the Husker games every year, but this is a bigger deal.
This tournament had competitors fishing for their medals and other big prizes.
We've got the medals for gold, silver, bronze, and gold for big bass, and then we have almost $1,600 in payouts today.
After their scores were tallied, gold medalist Chad Allison admits to having some experience on Lake Wanahoo.
This is our third year we fish the same lake for our Cornhusker State Games, and so basically we already fished it for a couple years and just decided to do it again. It's always a good time out here. We catch a lot of fish.
As fishing wrapped up, the next fishing competition is at Holmes Lake here in Lincoln. That's when the shore fishing competition begins.
Thanks, Taylor. We also understand they have a prize for the biggest fish caught.
Yes, there was. The biggest bass caught was 4.29 pounds with a payout of $370.
Wow. Thanks so much for joining us. The competition started to heat up today at several venues around Lincoln. Some of those included archery, junior golf, and swimming. Here's a look at some of the action. If you would like to see results of the games, go to SGA2015.com and click on the medal winners link on the homepage.
And hockey is underway at 4 different ice rinks in the Omaha area, and over 600 competitors competing for gold in 8 different divisions. Student reporter Nick Hermson has the story.
The hockey portion of the State Games of America kicked off yesterday in Omaha, drawing more than 600 competitors to the metro area. This year's groups include 2 adult leagues, a U14 league, a U12 and U10 league, as well as an under-6 league. I had a minute to talk to ice hockey director Amy Guzman-Jones about everything she has going on this week.
I'm in charge of the entire hockey program, from our U6s all the way up to adults. We do cross ice, half ice, and then full ice from U10s on to adults.
I also had the chance to ask Director Amy why she chose to direct ice hockey over any other sport this year at the Games.
I love the sport, but even up to the adults, what's been fantastic is seeing some of these kids that watched them grow up from little guys on up now, and they've graduated from high school, now in college, some, in the business world, and they've come back to play some hockey.
I talked with 22-year-old Creighton Lay out of Omaha, Nebraska about how he first got into ice hockey.
When I was a little kid, my dad had season tickets to the Mississippi Seawolves, where we were living at the time, and we went every year, and I just fell in love with it completely. I played in Japan for 3 years. I played for the Okinawa national hockey team. I left school at my senior year of high school to go play junior hockey for 2 years. And then just countless road trips with my parents and my family and good friends. My favorite part is just coming out here and being on the ice, hanging out with my friends, and just enjoying this beautiful game.
The hockey events run through Sunday, August 2nd at 4 different ice rinks around the Omaha area. For more information, visit www.sga2015.com.
Thanks for that report. Hockey continues in Omaha all the way through Sunday.
Great. Lincoln's Bennett Widman wasn't sure he'd be able to compete in the State Games of America this year because of a recent neck injury. Through constant hot and cold treatments, massages, and visits to his chiropractor, Widman is toughing it out and competing this week. State Games reporter Matt Reynoldson has the story.
On day 1 of the State Games of America tennis tournament, players can usually tell by their first point what kind of run they'll be able to make in their draw. Every player has to battle heat and fatigue, but one player had to fight through injury as well.
I hurt my neck in a tubing accident.
Lincoln's Bennett Widman chose to play through the pain. The neck injury was affecting his movement so much that he said his participation in the tournament was a game-time decision.
Realized I could probably make it through the match, but I didn't think serving, overhead volleys were going to go too well.
After trying a few different things in warm-ups, Widman finally found something that would work for him.
Decided I would roll with the controversial underhand serve today.
I do think it helped him because it caught the opponent off guard, and it wasn't like as hard, so he couldn't really hit the ball as hard back to Bennett, so Bennett was able to react pretty quickly.
After the first set, my tactics were kind of working, but then I got down 1-4 in the second and realized if I couldn't make a pretty nice comeback, I didn't think I had much of a chance in set 3, so I really just pushed and started not going for too many shots, just keeping the ball in play.
He found ways to serve and hit overhead shots to be able to win.
It worked for the most part, and I guess I got out 6-2, 6-4.
Widman looks to shake the nagging injury as he advances through the tournament, beginning this afternoon.
Try to get back out here, pull out another win.
Thanks for that report, Matt. Looks like a lot of great action at the tennis court. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Good evening. I'm Mallory Maddox.
It's ripping up a whole town.
News is unstoppable.
Scott Village has been on fire.
As we sleep.
In the news this morning.
And as we wake.
River rescue is underway.
Something is always happening. And we all want to hear it. See it. Feel it. When it breaks, we are the first to report it. In-depth, complete breaking news coverage. The largest team of reporters, the most experienced. We are the people you know, the news you trust. This is WOWT 6 News.